I got a burnout in 2018. I was doing way too much in terms of expectations, like things I expected from myself. I personally, this is a bit of a sidestep, but I personally don't think burnout has a lot to do with the hours you work, but more with the pressure you perceive, the expectations you have of yourself, and frustration you have because, for example, if you have a job and your manager doesn't facilitate you in being able to do your job, or you're not appreciated. And I think there are a lot of other factors that are way more important in people burning out. But I got a burnout, a pretty bad one. Got pulled to the hospital in an ambulance because they thought I had a heart attack. It wasn't, it was a panic attack. It took me 2.5 years to go from nothing to full-time work again. So I didn't really stop working for a long time. I think I started working, well, not really working, but I started going back to the office after a week or 3-4, and then just went in for 15 minutes and then I was done. Like I couldn't be around the environment anymore. And next week I could go in for 20 minutes. And so slowly started to build up again until I could do 40 again. And what I noticed, so I got this panic disorder from the burnout, which is 99% gone now. But what I noticed is every time I went to the gym, the panic would get less. I would have a better day. So I always struggled with motivating myself to go to the gym. But then, something like this is such a good motivation. It was just not an issue anymore. So I started out exercising for my mental health, not because of any physique or whatever. And then it turned into a habit that I still have. And now it's not necessary that much anymore for my mental health, at least not the amount I'm training. But it's like brushing my teeth or taking a shower now. It's just something I do every day. I think exercise is a big part of my life, very big.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And like just a follow-up question on that, how do you think it contributes or it helps you right now? If the mental health is not the main priority, how does it helps you in your day-to-day life and work also?
Well, I think the exercise does help to get you get things off your mind. You're solely focused on something very simple, a movement, lifting something, whatever. And that helps kind of, deload from the day and everything that happened. You can also go overboard. So I wouldn't recommend 7 days a week like I'm doing, but yeah, I'm a little bit extreme. And of course, it helps with your confidence. I used to be, maybe 20 kilos heavier than I am now. And I lost a lot of fat and also gained a lot of muscle. And you do feel more confident because of it. And it does help in daily life as well. And of course, you're healthier, so you can do more, you can withstand more things.
Yes. And coming on the topic of burnout and mental health, this is also what I see from many entrepreneurs, that they have very high standards or expectations from themselves. And as you said, that can often backfire. So what advice would you give to somebody who is on the verge of burnout without even realizing so?
I always find this a hard question, because the problem with people that burn out a lot of times is that they're stubborn. So they probably won't listen to any advice I'll give them until they actually have a burnout. It was the same for me. And I can say it's not worth it. I have a lasting disorder that I still struggle with sometimes. It should go away eventually, but it's been 5 years now and hasn't been gone fully. I think the more important message is work is not that important. I know all we do revolves around work, especially if you're in a high-powered position, you're setting up a startup, etc. But honestly, work is not that important as you think, and things don't blow up if you're not there for a week. So there's a story I can tell. So I was at home. I started getting pain in my chest. And normally I just ignore any pains because I don't know, that was what I did. But the pain didn't go away. Actually, got much worse. And then my left arm started losing function. So I thought, this is a heart attack. Called the 911, 112 here. Ambulance came. And then my wife, while they were carrying me onto the stretcher, I was shaking very heavily. Like was really weird, completely stressed out, at a heart rate of 200. It was ridiculous. And the only thing I said, looked at my wife and said, can you give me my phone? I need to cancel my meetings for tomorrow morning, while I was getting pulled on my stretcher. So looking back, I'm like, yeah, I had an issue, a big problem. And don't understand now, looking back, why I would sacrifice my health that much for my ambitions. Because in the end, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. You need to be here in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years as well. So if you really want to make it, whatever that means to you, you probably need to find a pace that you can keep doing. Yeah. And then what I did is not worth it, because I sometimes still struggle with it. So I know a lot of people who are on the edge of burnout probably won't listen. But yeah, it's not worth it. Also, when I got to the hospital, they said, we think you're not having a heart attack, you're just having a very severe panic attack. Went back home. And then the first thing I was thinking, like, oh, I cannot be out of the office. Everything will go wrong if I'm not there. I need to be there for this, I need to be there for that. And then I didn't go for a few weeks, and honestly, nothing changed. You're not that invaluable as you think, honestly.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're just one person, but people tend to overvalue how important they are if they function in a team. Even if it's just a small team, it's not that important. And that's something I see a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with. They feel like they need to be everywhere. You don't. You actually don't. And honestly, I think a lot of times that mentality is helping you, not helping you. It's causing you to actually have less growth, I think, because you're turning your business into something dependent on you and not on a system, not on a process. So all these intuitive feelings we have as entrepreneurs, we need to work hard, be everywhere, etc., they can actually damage your business. So delegate, don't care too much. And then there's actually a silver lining to this whole burnout thing. To be honest, I don't care anymore, not that much anymore, in a positive sense, because I had to go through that to understand what is important in life. And I do work is a very big important part of my life. It still is. It gives me enjoyment, and it's a big, important part of my life. I work not just for the money, but because I get value out of it as a person. But there's more than work. Definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think it's a paradox. I think it's very timely that you shared that sometimes by trying to work hard, you can actually make it more difficult for your business. And you can, like, while you are taking value, you can make it difficult for others around you, like for them to take value. And that can stop them from growing, and then your business from growing, while you're thinking that what else can you do, right? It creates a negative pattern.